Hey everyone, welcome to Learn English with Podcast. I am Maria, and today we diving into something we all face at some point: disappointment in ourselves.
That's right. Whether it's a missed opportunity or a small mistake, disappointment can hit hard. But the real question is, how do we turn that feeling into motivation?
Stick around until the end, where we've got a self-assessment test for you. It's a fun way to reflect on the topic and see how you can improve both your mindset and your English.
Don't forget to drop your scores in the comments. Let's get started. Okay, let's be honest. How many times have you told yourself, ugh, I should have done better? Maria, be real. When's the last time you had one of those moments?
Oh, yesterday, I was looking at my to-do list and thought, wow, I crushed about 10% of this.
10%? That's a solid D-. Gold star for trying though.
Thanks, Luca. But seriously, I think everyone feels like this at some point. You set high expectations, and when you don't meet them, it feels like the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's not just big goals, right? It could be something as small as forgetting to hit the gym, or eating an entire pizza when you swore you'd eat healthy this week.
Exactly. And it doesn't help that we live in this perfect image world where everyone's life on social media looks flawless. It's hard not to feel like you're falling behind.
Oh, the Instagram effect. You're stuck at home in sweatpants, and Karen's out there climbing Mount Everest. It's brutal.
But here's the thing, Luca. Self-disappointment isn't just normal. It's a natural part of life. The problem isn't feeling disappointed. It's how we deal with it.
Which is exactly what we're talking about today, folks. Why do we get disappointed in ourselves, and, more importantly, how do we bounce back?
And stick with us because we'll share practical tips, some eye-opening research, and maybe a little bit of humor to help you navigate those moments of, ugh, I could have done better.
Ready? Let's dive in before Karen posts her next Everest pic. All right, Maria, let's get to the root of it. Why do we feel so disappointed in ourselves? Is it because we're just human, or are we all secretly overachievers?
A bit of both, actually. Most of the time, it's about expectations, unrealistic ones. We set the bar so high, and when we can't reach it, we feel like failures.
Oh, for sure. Like that time I promised myself I'd learn Spanish in a week. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen.
Luca, no offense, but even fluent Spanish speakers would need more than a week for that.
Exactly. But that's the thing. We set impossible goals, and when reality hits, disappointment kicks in.
True. And let's not forget the pressure from society. Everyone's hustling, showing off their highlight reels on social media. It's easy to feel like you're not good enough when you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's polished performance.
Ugh, social media, the ultimate disappointment factory. 1 minute, I'm feeling great about my day, and then, boom, someone's posting their perfectly plated, home-cooked, gluten-free dinner while I'm over here with my sad bowl of instant noodles.
That comparison trap is real. Studies actually show that people who spend more time on social media are more likely to feel inadequate or disappointed in themselves.
Makes sense. It's like a competition you didn't sign up for, and yet, you're losing.
Exactly. And it's not just external pressures. Sometimes, we're our own worst critics. You know that little voice in your head, the one that says, you're not doing enough. That's perfectionism talking.
Oh, I know that voice. Mine sounds like a disappointed teacher. Luca, you can do better.
Same here. But here's the thing. Perfectionism doesn't lead to perfection. It leads to burnout and, you guessed it, disappointment.
So, let me get this straight. We feel disappointed because of unrealistic goals, society's endless comparisons, and that annoying inner voice. Got it. But how do we stop feeling like this?
That's where self-awareness comes in. Recognizing why you're disappointed is the first step to overcoming it. And don't worry, we'll get to the solutions soon.
Good, because I'm taking notes for myself and my inner teacher. Okay, Maria, let's settle this. Why can't we just be happy all the time? I mean, life would be so much easier if disappointment wasn't a thing.
I hear you, Luca. But here's the truth. Disappointment is as natural as breathing. It's part of being human.
So you're saying it's like stubbing your toe. It hurts, it's annoying, but it's just gonna happen?
Exactly. Disappointment isn't the enemy. In fact, it's a sign that you care about something. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel disappointed.
Oh, so it's like when I messed up that big presentation. I was disappointed because I wanted to do well, not because I didn't care. I never thought of it that way.
That's the key. Disappointment can be a guide. It shows you what matters to you. But here's the problem. Most of us treat it like failure instead of a learning moment.
Right? We go straight into, I'm the worst mode. Meanwhile, it's just life reminding us to adjust our game plan.
Exactly. And studies back this up. A Harvard research team found that acknowledging your emotions instead of ignoring them actually reduces their intensity. It's called emotional regulation.
Emotional regulation? Sounds fancy, but it's just about saying, hey, I'm disappointed. And that's okay, right?
Exactly. And once you accept it, you can move forward. Think of it like this. Disappointment is the rain, but you've got an umbrella. You don't have to get drenched.
I like that. So, disappointment isn't the enemy. It's just part of the weather forecast for life. And as long as you've got your emotional umbrella, you're good.
Exactly, Luca. And the best part? Every storm eventually passes. Let's recap the vocabularies. First is, perfectionism refers to the need to be perfect in everything you do. Second is, drenched means completely soaked or wet. Third is, burnout refers to a state of physical and mental exhaustion caused by overwork or stress.
All right, Maria, let's get to the good stuff. How do we actually deal with self-disappointment? I mean, it's one thing to accept it, but what do we do next?
Great question, Luca. Step 1 is to give yourself some grace. You're human, not a robot. That means it's okay to mess up sometimes.
Wait, so you're saying my I accidentally binged Netflix instead of working moment is forgivable?
Yes, Luca, it's forgivable. But here's the catch. You need to own it. Acknowledge the slip-up and move forward. No beating yourself up for days.
Got it, so step 1 is, be kind to yourself. What's next?
Step 2. Shift your focus to what you've achieved instead of what you haven't. We're so good at nitpicking our failures, but we rarely celebrate our wins.
Ooh, I like that. Like, okay, I didn't finish my entire to-do list, but I did finally clean my car. That counts, right?
Absolutely. Wins don't have to be big to be worth celebrating. Research even shows that small victories can boost your motivation and mental health.
Note to self, celebrate every clean car, folded laundry, and yes, even watering the plants.
Exactly. Step 3. Break the cycle of perfectionism. Instead of aiming for perfect, aim for progress.
Ah, progress over perfection. Sounds simple, but how do you actually do that?
Set smaller, achievable goals. For example, instead of saying, I'll lose 20 pounds this month, start with, I'll exercise 3 times this week.
That's so much less stressful. Plus, it feels good when you actually hit those smaller goals.
Exactly. And here's step 4. Talk to someone you trust. Sometimes we bottle up our disappointment and it just gets worse. Sharing your feelings can really help.
Oh yeah, a good vent session with a friend can do wonders. They remind you you're not as bad as you think you are.
Exactly. And remember, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
So true. Okay, what's step 5?
Step 5. Practice gratitude. When you're feeling disappointed, take a moment to think about what you're grateful for. It shifts your perspective.
Like, instead of feeling bad that I didn't get a promotion, I could be grateful I still have a job that pays the bills.
Exactly. Gratitude helps you focus on the positives, even when things aren't perfect.
Alright, so let me recap. Be kind to yourself, celebrate small wins, aim for progress over perfection, share your feelings, and practice gratitude. Did I miss anything?
Just one more. Don't be afraid to learn from the disappointment. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? It's all about growth.
The growth mindset. turning setbacks into comebacks.
Exactly. Disappointment doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the beginning of a better one.
Love that. So, listeners, the next time you're feeling disappointed, remember, you're not alone, it's okay to feel that way, and there are steps you can take to bounce back. Now, Maria, where's my confetti for cleaning my car?
I'll get you some, Luca. But for now, let's celebrate progress. One step at a time.
Alright, Maria, we've covered feeling disappointed, but here's the real question. How do we turn that disappointment into something that pushes us forward?
That's the golden question, Luca. Disappointment doesn't have to drag you down. It can be the fuel that drives you. First step. Channel that frustration into action.
Like when I missed out on the promotion and got all fired up to show them I was capable. That was a game changer.
Exactly. Disappointment makes you realize, I want more, and that desire to improve can fuel your next big move. Research shows that people who use their disappointment as motivation tend to succeed more than those who dwell on it.
So, disappointment can be like a wake-up call to level up?
Exactly. Use it to set new goals, smaller, achievable ones that push you forward. Even tiny steps add up.
Okay, so don't sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Turn it into a challenge, a reason to grow.
Exactly. Disappointment doesn't define you. How you use it does.
Alright, I'm ready to turn my disappointments into victories now.
And that's how it's done. Let's recap the vocabularies. First is, bottle up refers to keep emotions or feelings inside without expressing them. Second is, wake up call means a sudden realization that makes you understand something important. Third is, nitpicking our failures refers to a focusing too much on small mistakes or imperfections.
So, to wrap it up, disappointment is normal and it's something everyone faces. But remember, it's not the end of the road. It's just a part of the journey.
Absolutely. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to push forward. Celebrate your small wins, be kind to yourself, and always keep growing.
Exactly. And if you're feeling down, don't forget, you've got the power to turn things around. Keep going and let disappointment be the spark that ignites your next success.
You've got this, listeners. All right, listeners, it's time for the self-assessment test. Ready to see how your English skills are doing? Take a moment to answer the questions and don't forget to share your score in the comments below. Now the last question is a tricky one. If you get it right, I'll be cheering you on in the comments. But if it's wrong, no worries. I'll drop the correct answer to help you improve. So let's get started. Answer honestly and share your score with us. I can't wait to see how you do.
Thank you for watching. Your journey to better English and unstoppable confidence starts here. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together. See you in the next video, champion.